Hey gang, it is great to see you. It is the end of week 3 of Open Campus Creative Writing, and I am excited. We are getting into the part of the course that I think, as a writer, I find most valuable, and that is the workshop portion of it. Here is a chance where you get to share your writing, release it into the world, and get people that really care about writing to give you some feedback onto it. Because otherwise, why would you be in this course if you don't care about writing, right? So this is a safe place to get some response, because what we're going to do in the workshop, as you'll see next week, and I'll talk about it probably Monday, is when you put your piece out there, people are going to give you feedback and tell you the things that you're doing well, and also the things you can improve on. Because after all, why take a creative writing course if you don't want to get better at your writing? And there's things that when we write a piece, I think, for example, I just published a novel, as I mentioned earlier, about the history of my farm. I got feedback, and there were things, even as an English teacher, that because I was so close to the writing that I was missing, and people would point it out like, hey, yeah, this sentence doesn't make sense. I needed that feedback, right? And this is what we're going to do. We're going to help you. We're going to talk about the things that you're doing well in your pieces, but also talk about some things that can help this piece become stronger and help it stand on its own legs, and things that might be hindering it from being received by an audience. And that's really the goal here. And that all starts with the workshop. So I'm passionate about the workshop. I think it's the best part of this course. We're able to give feedback and make people's writing stronger. As I mentioned before, make sure that you save the original piece that you posted to the workshop on like an outside Google document, and don't alter it. And keep an original, and you're going to be asked to revise this piece of writing on Monday. Keep the original and copy it so you have an original and the revised version. You're going to need both for the portfolio. Let's jump into the course, and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, so Open Campus Creative Writing, here we are, as I said, on week 2, actually module 2, week 3, I should say. And by now, you should have wrapped up your personal narrative analysis. If you haven't, you're behind. And you should be wrapping up this more about personal narratives. Where you should be at this point is focusing in on writing and creating your personal narrative that meets the requirements. And what are those requirements? Well, that's important if you're going to be writing it. So I just opened up group 1. You'll see that we have about 6 people in group 1, which means you'll be reading 5 personal narratives, so not an overabundance of it. And or you'll be reading however many people post. And you'll see that there's a couple things that I want you to do. First of all, this personal narrative needs to be about a person, place, or object that holds some significance to you. And you're going to use everything that you've learned. I'd like you to see dialogue in it. I want to see you developing a setting in it, or context for it. I want a sense of beginning, middle, and end. I want a sense of story in it, and that there's some truth that we learned out of this. And you can read down through. I'm not going to read this for you, and there's a rubric there for you and so on. And then you'll just post as a new discussion topic down here at the bottom. Once you've done that by midnight on Monday, then you want to begin responding to the other people in your group and giving some feedback. Now remember, I gave you those examples for feedback. Make sure that you do that. I think I have directions for the narrative peer response. No, I don't down here. But if you'll remember what we did with the tractor exercise, the one where Elmer was driving his tractor through the field, that is what I am looking for. So make sure that you are giving 2 positive pieces of feedback and 2 things that the author can improve, citing examples. So here's that example again. I'm going to copy and paste it into that other section so that you have that as a reference point right there when you're responding. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, please message me. I'm looking for a developed narrative. Please don't go overboard and submit like an 8-page story, but you're looking for 2 pages is even kind of short for a personal narrative. 3 to 4 pages would be appropriate. All right, I think that's it. Have a great weekend. I look forward to chatting with you on the flip side.